Aloha all, this is Samana, and this is my 37th podcast. I don't even know what I'm calling it. I'm just being totally raw and real here. I've been recording these and releasing them Thursday mornings at 8 a.m., and I'm finding that's not so easy these days. So it is Thursday, and I'm still not too far off. But be patient with me. If this matters to you and you do listen to these weekly, I will come up with something every week. This week, I tell you, I think I'm calling this one Riding the Wave, because I have had such extreme feelings, which I'm certain most of you or all of you have, where either I am so like in a state of like fear, like everything. It's like living in a science fiction movie that's real, and like the greatest fears are coming up, and that comes and it's gripping, and I notice the tightness in my heart, I notice the shortness of breath. These aren't the virus symptoms, these are the emotional symptoms. And just noticing I got to keep sighing, I got to keep that cleansing breath. And my daughter was complaining about having shortness of breath like for the last month and stuff. And again, we could get that mixed up with physical symptoms, but emotional symptoms, that matters, like that whole energy around our heart. So I always talk about just doing that sigh, that just throughout the day, releasing the energy from your heart, because it's actually a buildup. So in Hawaii, I've said this in a past podcast, but they talk about the word aloha. So the breath of ha is actually that breath of the heart, where they talk about aloha, where we're giving love, where we're community, exchanging, family. It means so many things, aloha. But here the breath of ha is literally that sound. That sigh is the sound of ha. And remember to use that as a tool, like throughout the day, whenever your mind is spinning and it's tight and all of those things. Because the plus is when we're sensitive beings, we definitely get to have many opportunities to use life care tools to help in these times of challenge. And this is like the biggest opportunity any of us have ever had, one of the biggest opportunities, period, because it's globally. So what I've found, I was sharing with a friend the other day, so I've known this about myself, so I'm a very, regardless if it's my astrological makeup or just who I am as open-hearted or as a being who's a healer. And for all of you out there, if you're healers, if you're first responders, if you're nurses, doctors, if you're just sensitive, open-hearted people, and if you're in the actual front lines with interacting daily with these people, I met this wonderful nurse yesterday who came to look at a room for rent I was offering, and he was just very, very authentic and beautiful, and I found myself compulsively giving him some advice. So I'm going to give all of this advice to you, regardless of our circumstances, if we're in the front line working with people, or if we're just at home feeling a mess, or fearful, or afraid, or frustrated, or all those things. A couple things. First off, always remember to identify it. Like when we just keep trying to push ahead and be productive, which is my mechanism. It's totally what I do. It's like the more triggered I am, the more I will want to produce to see something I can affect. What we're all feeling right now is that we need to be in control of something. So find what you are in control of. Like I'm sitting here petting my dog Kirby right now. You may hear him snorting in the background while I'm taping this. And I didn't even write this script out. So as much as I'm not... no editing, like this is just, I'm going for it because I wanted to put this out in case there's one person out there that depends on this. I just want to do this. I'm asking my listeners, if this matters to any of you, this is not for my ego. This is for, I want to be of most value in my, however I can do this right now. And I really want you to contact me, you could email me, Samana, Samana, at spaluna.com, or text me, call me, whatever, 808-283-7587, and give me ideas of what you'd like to hear, what topics would soothe you right now. Anyways, back to this taking care of ourselves. So the sensitivity, sometimes we're feeling so distraught, and it's not even personal. It's because it's the collective energy. Because the more we are tuned in to everybody, to our family, to our community, to the world, to the planet. Like I would feel this way growing up around Christmas time, around Valentine's Day, where there's these tendencies of loneliness and isolation and sadness. And I would always feel this, and I had to learn to separate and identify what was my personal stuff, or if my personal life is good and I am picking up on other people's things, or being an esthetician all these years and working with clients and doing facials or waxing or any type of contact or massaging them. Like we take people's energies on, and then you're like, I mean, when I worked in Beverly Hills in my 20s, I started having all this physical pain and being tired all the time. I was only 21, 22, and the whole point is that I was taking on people's energy, and I didn't know I had that gift in those days. And so this could happen. So if you're feeling this heaviness anywhere in your body, or if you're feeling that fatigue and various things, check in to see, yes, we don't know what's happening right now. There's no one to turn to except for comfort and support, except to identify, yes, it sucks right now, and nobody has a clue. Nobody. They may think they do, but nobody does, and it is changing by the minute. In spiritual terms, there are 3 paths to enlightenment. This is where my spiritual background comes in. One is to contemplate emptiness, and that means it's hard for Westerners to conceive of that, but when you contemplate emptiness, it's actually seeing that everything we see, in a sense, is an illusion. It's not real anyways. So it's like, what is security? Like, am I secure if I'm married? If I'm secure if I have this home? If I'm secure if I have food right now? If I'm secure in this relationship? Am I secure because I have a job? Like, all of that's an illusion, because what we're seeing now is it could just dissolve, as anything can dissolve at any time. So that emptiness feeling. The other path to enlightenment is the path of suffering, and I've used that a lot, where I just contemplated that here we actually bond as human beings through our joys, but we bond deeper through our suffering, through our like-mindedness of our wounds, of our vulnerabilities, of our fears, of things that we're not certain of, or things that are raw in us. And to be able to expose that with another person, there becomes like this safety and this trust and this bond. So that's that, through that suffering. And the third path of enlightenment is the path of impermanent. And I'll tell you, people, impermanent means ever changing. My meditation teacher, George, would always snap his fingers to say, every second, as I'm here on this podcast talking to you, and I hear someone mowing the lawn in the background, I could hear my dog snoring. I could feel the wind coming through. The wind chime goes off every once in a while in the distance. I feel how I'm sitting here. But each moment, nothing stays the same. Impermanence is constantly happening. And again, there's an aliveness, so it could go either way depending on how the mind wants to look at it. We either see, like right now, if you're glued to the news, everything is changing every minute of what's happening. Like, it's so scary because it's just continual. And the other part of that, if we can just stay from that witness place, from that more grounded, centered place, from that alpha state of our mind, because we're doing our meditation to the best of our ability, then we'll see that it's alive, that it's moving, that it's continually changing, that we're not trapped, that it's not locked, it's just happening. And that impermanence is a wonderful path. Just see how many things are changing in the moment. And right now, I'll just share, and I keep remembering these myself when the wave isn't happening, when I'm on a low side, is that basically we have to accept and adapt to what is happening instead of our mind having this longing or this grasping for what was, because nobody knows. I believe the world will never be the same again. Now, to what extent that is, we don't know. And let's just say it's going to be a good thing. Like, my daughter posted, and I see on social media, it's like as soon as this happens, she goes, well, Mother, the good thing is the planet has time to heal. Like, yes, we're seeing that. That's a beautiful thing. That's true. Like, we're seeing articles, any of you that are constantly surfing the net, about, like, here's whales coming out, and here's all these species of animals that are nearly extinct that are more prolific right now because, like, man is being pulled back, like, because of our stupidity, because of our corruptions, because of our selfing and our, making profit and, oh my God, these material gains. It's like, really, is this world going to collapse because of we all want to make money in the stock market? Oh, it's just so hard to be human so many times. How about all of us really reach out to whatever extent we can, like on my Nextdoor app, which I'm sure we all have those in our neighborhood. I put my name and listed, like, if anyone needs me to go get prescriptions or food or anything for them, the elderly, the sick, the terrified, like, just do what you can and stay healthy while we're doing all this. So, okay. Couple other things I want to say. So now one of your tools, we know that it's that breath of Ha, just that sigh and release, just throughout the day. Just let it go. And notice when it's that urgency to produce and you're not producing. Notice that and just be compassionate with yourself and name that it's fear. It's whatever you label it. So that's a meditation technique, is to name it, and then the mind is satisfied. So I could say fear, frustration, unknown, chaos, anger, whatever it is, terror, just name it, and then see where it is in your body. So if I say that I'm afraid right now, don't just name fear, but see how it's presenting in the body. Like, is it tightness in the throat? Is it pressure in the heart? Is it shallow breath? Is it the shoulders are curved forward? How is it? Like, really name it in your body. When I work with clients and do counseling, I will do that when they're in a trauma situation, that I let them speak their feeling, and then I want them to name the physical sensation in the body and where it is. And then that term impermanent that I was talking about, that path of enlightenment, to watch that sensation in the body and watch how it's not constant, how it slightly changes and shifts. When I've worked with extreme pain, because I've had a couple car accidents and various injuries and things, and I used to have incredible back pain or sciatic pain for years till I learned the right stretches, but I would use pain as one of my meditation concentration focuses, and I would look at it and say, is this just this sharp pain like a knife right now in my spine? Or if I could pull back a little bit and actually look on the sides of it, like my sister with her injured knee right now, instead of just seeing this pain in the knee, like, look to see at how far down the leg does it go, and do you see where it ends, or does it radiate? Is it constant? Is it intermittent? Is it hot? Is it warm? Is it cool? Is it sharp? Is it dull? Like, how does it, and if it was a color, what is the color? And does it stay the same size, or does it shrink? Does it in any way change form? Does it shift from the neck to, I feel it in, from my knee to my neck to, like, notice everything in that impermanence, in that ability to allow your mind a place of focus while I'm doing all of this introspection in my body. It's freeing my mind from the spinning thoughts of fear and worry. So these are tools for you. And any of you that are out there, if you're just going to the store or getting medication, or if you're actually at work, or when you come home, I want you to commit to yourself and promise to do a cleansing ritual, regardless if you believe this or not. This is my specialty, this whole, we've talked about, like, I've been in this industry 36 years, and we all know as estheticians and massage therapists and nurses and various things that, about sanitizing, hand sanitizer. This isn't just about 20 seconds of washing your hands and hand sanitizer. This is spiritual hygiene. So this means at the end of my day, even if I don't leave my house, but I'm doing counseling online all day long, or whatever's happening, if I'm just feeling this heaviness, there's two things I want you to do. Water is an incredible purifier. We all have water right now. Either take a shower, and while you're in that shower, you see that from the top of your head, and just take an intention in that moment and say something like, all that no longer serves me is washed away. And just, I ask to be purified. I ask to be healed. I ask to be renewed, refreshed. And you could also do that in a bath with sea salt, with essential oils, with Epsom salt, with baking soda, any of those things, any of those luxuries. Something like that. You could also use incense or sage to clear yourself. There are essential oils I've talked about in other podcasts that you can use. And I'm telling you, in your purse, in your wallet, in your pants pocket, like, try to find a little glass bottle and, like, keep lavender in there to keep you calm to smell throughout the day. Or if you have sage, or if you have spikenard, or if you have rosemary, which is stimulating, or basil, those are antivirals. Whatever it is you need to keep yourself clear, that every time you take that smell of that essential oil, that it's something you're doing for yourself, that you're present in that moment, that you're smelling that, you're actually decoding the brain, which is a beautiful thing. Now, another thing you can do, so if you are in that line of fire, my first responders, my nephew, my good friend in Austin who's the fireman, John, and other people I know, and many, many doctor friends and nurses that I have as clients, as friends and stuff, if you're visual, and if you believe this, if you want to experiment with this, before you go out in public, surround yourself in a blue bubble. And that bubble doesn't mean that you're not relating to these people, or that you're not helping them or connecting or participating. But it's this little blue light. They say the blue light is the Archangel Michael, the angel of warriors. If you believe that or not, I love light therapy. So I use this brilliant blue light throughout my life. Anytime I've been afraid, when I get on a plane, I surround the plane in blue light. I've surrounded my daughter or son or whoever. If I feel they're in from a distance, I could do that. If I feel they're in danger or anything, it's just a protection. But protect yourself in that blue light, and notice that people can come close to you, but they can't penetrate that little inter space of yours. That's something that's sacred for you, and that's important. So now we're going to do our ritual, our daily ritual of cleansing and clearing, if we leave the house or not, which we're going to do it with light or with incense or with however you want to do it. And going outside in nature and just sitting there and taking a few deep breaths and letting the wind blow on you, feeling the sun, because everyone's getting sun, even if it's cold out. You should have some sun somewhere. If you're in Maui and Hawaii and places and you're blessed to go in that beautiful ocean, do that, and do that intentionally. So those are important things. So another thing I'm going to suggest, regardless, so if we're given more time than we usually have had, we have no excuse not to care for ourselves. So write an authentic list of areas of your life that you'd like to cultivate, that you've never had time to cultivate before. If it's spending more time with your family, if that's going to be physically or even online, then do calls. Like, there are several friends of mine right now that I know they have more time, so I'm like, contact me, let's schedule a FaceTime or even a phone call, and we'll have our coffee or glass of wine or something and really make that happen, a family member or friend. Now is the time to connect with people you haven't talked to in a long time. I've had students from years ago and clients and friends that I'm just texting. I hope you're safe and healthy, blessings to your family. It's just, I want to check in. So I personally know that I need connection, even though I'm an introvert. And I have already done, I do like 3 Zoom classes a week now. One was with my women's group, We Win, and I did a wonderful one on Sunday that where they put us in the breakout rooms and we contemplate questions, and there's like 2 or 3 of us in a room, and it's wonderful and it's intimate and it's kind of weird at first, but then you figure that's great. I mean, I've done this with classes. So that's beautiful. And then I did one with my meditation teacher and part of my old Sangha, and we did that last Wednesday. I couldn't do it yesterday because I had too much going on. But so I did meditation, and then this Wednesday morning, this past Wednesday, and I'll do it next Wednesday, Jess from the group, one of the groups I'm involved with, she's doing yoga. So there is yoga there. So one of my friends told me there's a site called yogagirl.com, and they're doing free yoga. I have looked up so many workout routines without weights. Now I have some cheesy, pathetic weights, like 10 pounds is the heaviest I have, but I have a couple of balls, so I'm doing a lot of stuff with the balls and a lot of core stuff, and so I'm making certain that I work out all the time. I got my dart board, so I'm playing darts by myself. I'm improving my game, and yeah. If someone comes by, you never know. This will pass someday. But all of those things, and someone else mentioned that Rita Wilson, Tom Hanks' wife, on Spotify, she has a workout list called Quarantunes, and that it was just so much fun. All kinds of music she compiled, and it was wonderful. I'm sure there's many, many things out there for all of you to enjoy. So many people are given free things. I'm doing a daily, it's also free with Oprah and Deepak Chopra, that one of my old students sent me the link. So it's just like a little mantra with Deepak and a little silent meditation with music playing, and Oprah speaks in the beginning, and then there's little journaling exercises. So I've been doing my journaling every day, and that's so important right now. So I would say remember those tools. Now, I have done counseling forever, and I've done it online since I even lived in Maui. So my rates, as I've said to everyone, are no longer what they were because of the times. I'm doing a sliding scale from 25 and up. And just contact me. Like, if that's even challenging for you, I will give you a session, a 50-minute session, and help rebalance you. And I will not respond if I am in a downswing. If I am not in a good place, I will not force it and pretend. I will make sure that am grounded before I speak to someone. So, as I was saying, riding the wave. So I told you about all the fear and things I've been feeling, and I knew this is what I just wanted to turn on my podcast and just share that these are real. Like, I have so many. I know almost every, many, let's say not every, but many self-care tools, and it's been my work for 3 decades, and what I've taught and my practice. And just to know that for the best of us that have these skills, that you still get thrown down. But the other side I've been feeling is such a depth, like the same polarized, extreme. It's not just being centered, it's being like so grounded, so alert, so conscious and present within myself. And deep, deep meditations with such appreciation for the slight breeze and the birds in my bird bath and this cardinal that visits me every day and all of those things. So I've been very blessed to have that. So there's a couple things I want to say. One is an exercise that I was doing with my students when I was filling in at Avenue 5. because they were a little stressed one day and I wanted to bring their focus in. And this could be something you could do either in person with your partner or friend or family member. But to have them, it's a way of shifting the mind, so we're giving it focus. Have them come up with a memory from childhood that either was told to them or a memory they remember that shows kind of their true nature at this point in life. And you will see them lighten up. You will see them smile. And why it's important to think of something from childhood when we were younger, because when we're younger, we weren't corrupt. We didn't have our mechanisms and our layers of protection and our false personas and our fake smiles. And I'm not saying everybody out there is like that, but so many people have learned to accommodate and adapt with mechanisms that when we're children, we're pure. And we need to remember that state and access that part of ourselves. So think of things from childhood. My sister called and she's like cleaning out. She's born in the year of the rat, so she holds everything. She's like, I actually have a report card from, I think I was 5 or 6. I'm like, Karen, what do you have that report card for? I said, she goes, I don't know. I said, does it say something about me that has to do with my character? And she wasn't sure. I said, just read what it says. And it basically said that I wouldn't stay, that she goes, you got some U's. I didn't even know what U's meant. I guess it meant unsatisfactory. This was in the day before things were electronic. It was probably like pounded with stone, and it wasn't that old, but when I was 6. And it was saying how I wouldn't stay in my seat and I was always socializing and telling people what to do. And that made me laugh because I was an introvert, but I was always social. And I said, oh, I don't remember that teacher, but she must not have had that organized of a class, because if I instantly kicked into my healer teacher mode when I was 6, I'm sure that I was trying to help people get clarity on what she was really wanting us to do. And there was really no way to keep me confined and within the rules. It's not really my nature. I kind of always have been unique, even under the radar, even without making it overt. I'm like, yeah, this is who I am. Which is why I'm called Unconventional Insights. Yeah. Anyways. So many changes are happening, many changes in my life. We're going to adapt as much as we can. I just want to know how I could be of most help out there. There's 2 things that I do have up my sleeve in addition to the counseling. The one is that I want to offer online classes to either for my old Spa Luna crew or for any healers out there or the estheticians. I posted it on some of the esthetician Facebook groups and stuff just today. And if you can contact me and let me know what kind of classes you want, I'll do Zoom classes for $10, and we'll do like an hour and a half class. And we could actually bring some of the old Spa Luna into it, where we're going to check in and like introduce everyone and get to know some people. The plus of doing this all online is it doesn't matter where you live. You could live anywhere around the world and be part of this. Just get the right time zone and we'll do this. I'm keeping the price down just so it pays for my costs and a little bit of food here and there. And but I will teach whatever you want to know in skin or health or healing, homeopathy, aromatherapy, skin analysis, treatments, anything, just any of that. I just know so many things that I can't even put the list of stuff. So write something you're interested in and let me know, and I will share it with you. And the other thing is David Garrison and myself we just committed to a date. I do have a meetup called Be a Relationship Architect, and I'm going to keep that meetup for the next month or 2, but I'm eventually going to close it down, and I want my members to contact me directly because I don't want to pay the cost for that when I could be paying for Zoom and something else, and I am keeping my expenses down as everyone needs to out there. But we're doing on April 9th from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Central Time for $5. So contact me, and you can pay on Venmo, PayPal's, or Apple Pay or Zelle, Cash App. I have everything. I have a million ways you could pay me. Anyways, but if you want to participate, this one is, regardless if you're single or a couple, we're calling this dating and relating in these times. So we are going to do some interactives, and we're going to put you in small groups, and you can meet people that you didn't know before. We're going to sometimes mix you women with women, men with men, women and men mix. We're going to just keep switching it up. This isn't a dating site, but you may find a friend or companion or pen pal or FaceTime Skype friend or something, and we're going to ask some edgy questions and make it fun. And yeah, so there you go, $5. So sign up. And if this kicks off, we'll offer it once a month, if not twice a month. And I just want to know where to put my energy. I have to have a purpose or I don't do well. I have a lot of knowledge and wisdom and skills and abilities, and I just need to know how the planet, what you want from me. So if you have any way to contact me and let me know that I can make your life easier, or if you know of anyone that needs counseling or something, just refer me, and I would appreciate that a lot. So I think that's going to be it for today. So again, riding that wave, just remember to be authentic and take your breath of Ha, clear that excess energy out, and don't try to force it if you can't. Like, just, I'm sad, connect with a friend, or I'm having a hard time, or journal yourself, or whatever it takes. And I am here. Contact me. And blessings to all of you. And again, remember impermanence. Let's just keep watching this. It will continue to change. Aloha and blessings.